I've taken some notes so that I have a little bit of a checklist. If I can derive from some of the valuable statements you made, financial integration from project managers being more aware that their business case managers is one solution to the upcoming crisis that we're facing. On the other side, creating an executive understanding of being more involved on an operational level so that we can come up with more realistic requirements for clients.
So the executives are often not even project champions, but what they actually should be, they're not even sponsors. Yeah. That's what I want to say. They're not even project sponsors.
Or accountable executives.
Yeah, what they should be is project champions.
Yes.
They should be the people who really push the project manager. And
they should be protecting. I think
protecting.
I think the protecting factor is one of the most ignored sponsor responsibilities.
And give and pay them their attention.
Yeah. You mentioned kind of at the beginning, we talked about maybe a more diversified approach to sales, maybe changing your Pareto concept. There was one thing we talked about. We talked about continued education and maybe and creating also maybe follow-up sessions where the education is not just a one-time thing, but that you have, maybe
the education as part of an organizational change program. Yeah. And the organizational change program is to understand that each project is a temporary profit center and has to be treated as a profit center and managed as a profit center.
And I think that education actually takes place once the first initial education cycle comes, is you have to create a workshop scenario where people can come and with their real life problems and say, okay,
absolutely,
I appreciate you as a trainer, but let's talk about real life. Let's talk about my situation. How do we deal with it, right? So these workshop scenarios.
I have companies involved in project business, and that's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
We meet every other month for 3 hour session, and in this 3 hour session, they talk about their.
And you can refresh things that
I learn a lot.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with you. That's really huge. I think one thing that I kind of took away from me, or maybe I brought into the thing, is the concept of lean, but lean in the sense of focusing on what really matters. Maybe also developing a concept of setting priorities or understanding that less is more. Maybe focusing on what's most important. If you don't have the money to take care of everything, make sure that you're taking care of the most important things and not wasting it on the things that are inconsequential. We talked about that. I kind of derived from what you were talking about. You reiterated how important the customer is. And I think it's a difficult thing for a project manager to adhere to because we have these classical parameters that define customer. I think most project managers are fearful for the concept of customer satisfaction. If scope, time, and cost are unrealistic, how am I going to make you happy? We often say if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, satisfaction is not a constraint.
I would see it the other way around. First of all, I'm not happy with the word satisfaction. I want happiness here. Yeah. That's more. That's emotional. Satisfaction is just, okay. Right.
I'm going to go a step further, though. I'm going to stand up for project managers. At the end of the day, as a project manager, I want to deliver what the customer is willing to pay for. I'm not just like in a relationship, and I've been in a couple marriages, so I'm going to maybe get personal here, right? You are not responsible for the happiness of your partner.
Of course you are.
No, you can contribute to it, but happiness is a personal issue. And in a bilateral relationship, which brings me to another subject, if you create a relationship where the project manager has no access to their own executives, and they have no access to the client because we live under this false pretense of one face to the customer. Okay, but all that happens is that over this wall, everybody's throwing their problems over the fence and saying, "Hey, deal with it."
That's not happiness.
There's no way to create happiness. There is no grounds. There's no.
Happiness is the smile on the face of those people on customer side who matter. Yeah, may not be all of them. Yeah. So happiness means to me that they want to come back, that they bring their friends with them. That's what I mean.
I think we're going to have to do a separate podcast on that one.
Yeah, that's more than satisfaction. Kano modeling, you may be aware of that. Yeah, that's where I see this. Yeah, that's top level.
You mentioned that this is the first of several articles to follow. 3. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be even more, knowing you. So this is I guess this is one of your.
I will then make a new series.
Is this your New Year's resolution for this year to say, okay, you're taking the bulls by its horn? This is one of our slogans at the PM Cowboy, to say, listen, this is something I think that is pertinent for 2025. I have for the first quarter, or maybe for the first 2 quarters, I have some concepts that I want to deal with, and also maybe provide my clients. But knowing you probably might extend it over the year as things develop.
There are top the top word is resilience.
Yeah.